past few days I've been in Huizhou, which is my wife's hometown in Guangdong province in southern China. We're here now because it is almost Chinese New Year as I record this, just about a week away, although it will be much later by the time I actually post this because I've got a lot of videos in the queue right now. Anyway, we're here to celebrate Chinese New Year with relatives, and I thought I'd show you around a bit, show you what it's like here. We're staying at my in-laws' house, just as you might guess. And they live in a gated community, not so different from the one we live in Ningbo. Here are some of the buildings and green trees all around. This is a significant difference from Ningbo. A lot of the leaves have fallen off of trees in Ningbo, but there's not a lot of fallen leaves here. This is because of just how far south we are. We are actually in the subtropics now, so leaves don't generally lose their trees. Even deciduous trees don't. You just, not like in Ningbo where you get them changing colors and losing their leaves. Here, everything just kind of stays as is. And we've got these nice palm trees that we don't see too much of in Zhejiang, or Shanghai for that matter. Let's have a closer look. Here we go. Palm tree. Even though this is my wife's hometown, we actually haven't been here a while because travel restrictions during the pandemic made it a lot harder to travel. And last year, her relatives actually came up to Shanghai to see us. This year, we thought it was finally time to go, and it turned out that the travel restrictions eased substantially just before we left anyway. When we got back here, I remember it was almost kind of a reverse culture shock as we noticed just how lush and green it is. Even though it's mid-January now. I'd say it is kind of nice to see it again. You never lack in flowers and green leaves here in Guangdong. We'll see what kind of flowers we find as we go on. This one's actually a bit bare. You're not getting too many of those here, but this one is a bit. Still, it doesn't detract from the overall greenness. Got some nice purple flowers in here. Surrounded by the buildings of this community. They're not very tall. The one we live in Ningbo is taller. It's 20 floors tall. These are, from what I can see, basically all less than 10. But it's nice enough. I'm always fascinated by the yellow and orange coloring of these buildings. I don't think I've seen that really much of anywhere else, but it's kind of pleasant. More purple flowers. And while horticulture isn't really my talent, I can actually name these flowers. These are bauhinias. And one of the reasons I know that is that this flower is somewhat famous as the emblem of Hong Kong. If you ever see the Hong Kong regional flag, this is the flower on that flag. And if you've ever seen Hong Kong coinage, you also see this flower on that coinage. Geographically, Huizhou isn't far from Hong Kong. By road, it's less than 2 hours to the Hong Kong border. Also close to it is Shenzhen, which is the city to the north of the Hong Kong border. A little farther away, but not too far, is Guangzhou, which is the provincial capital. So this is near some pretty big cities, though it's not that big of a city itself. Now approaching the gated community's main gate. Got some nice lanterns up here, since it is nearly Chinese New Year. And here's the gate. And more lovely Chinese New Year decorations here outside the gate. Including this tree and a whole ton of lanterns. And here's the road. In the time I've been away, this road seems to have gotten a lot busier. Guess more people are moving here. Ah, well, such is life. The apartment that we're staying in right now, my in-laws' apartment, is actually vacant most of the time. They don't live there. Primarily, they live with my brother-in-law in Shenzhen and help take care of his kids. And so, basically, there's only people in this apartment usually at Chinese New Year. So, it's a pretty empty place, but apparently other people are living here because there's quite a few people around here now. We're outside the gates, and I wanted to show you one very nice thing about this area. You can easily get to and walk alongside the river. You can also take a walk along this bridge, which is called Xinkai Heqiao, or you could say Xinkai He Bridge if you wanted to translate that last part. The rest of it I have a hard time translating. It literally feels like it should mean New Open River Bridge, but that sounds like bad English. I don't know if it means Newly Opened River Bridge, which if so is not very accurate since it's been here since I first came here to Huizhou, which was over a decade ago. But whatever, it is a bridge and it's quite important for getting to this area. Over on the other side of the river is the way to the central city. You can see some big buildings. Gonna try to focus in a bit over there. So while, as I said, this isn't exactly a big city for China anyway, neither is it small. How big is Huizhou, you might be wondering? Well, within the whole prefecture level city, there's over 6 million, but that's including a lot of people outside the urban core. Wikipedia lists the metro population as around 2 million, but I'm pretty sure even that includes some areas that are well outside the city center. So I'm not actually sure how many people live in what you'd really call the city of Huizhou. You can also see some nice mountains back behind the bridge and the buildings. I know there are foreigners married to Chinese people who love to post about how every year they go out to a village in the sticks to celebrate Chinese New Year with their family. Well, you're not going to get that with me. My Chinese family does not live in the village in the sticks. They live in Huizhou, a medium-sized city, which I think is nice enough in and of itself. Today we're going to go to a shopping mall near this area, just about a kilometer away, and we're going to walk there and get some exercise. Let's go! Getting there involves crossing the bridge we saw yesterday. This is it. This shopping center is anchored by Aeon, which is a supermarket. You can perhaps see the advertisements up here for restaurants and bakeries in there. There's also a KFC over there. I don't know if you can see, there's a McDonald's too. And here's the inside of the shopping center. We got shoe shops over here. This floor is kind of the kid-focused floor. Other than this place, it doesn't seem very kiddish, but over here you got a big kids arcade. You'll find other things on other floors. We're on the 3rd floor already. Down there, not too far, you can see the entrance to the Aeon supermarket. And here you can see down into the other floors. There are going to be bigger shopping centers in the city center, but this one's not small. A lot of the 2nd floor seems more focused on clothes and athletic wear. Look up at the 3rd floor, down at the 1st. And 1st floor, this is kind of a food court area with McDonald's. Here's a Hong Kong style restaurant, KFC. In fact, this area of the shopping mall is a food court on all the floors, not just the 1st floor. Rest of the 1st floor has a fair bit of clothing like the 2nd, but also some jewelry. And here's the supermarket where I'm gonna go buy some stuff. Supermarket's decked out for Chinese New Year too. You got rabbits here because it's about to be the year of the rabbit. Got what I needed, so I'm leaving the supermarket. Gonna go take a bus back home. And in Huizhou, that is pretty much the only mode of public transportation available. There's no metro or anything like that here. Fortunately, there are many choices, including this 203. Heading back on the bus. Going back across the bridge. And I'm back in the gated community again. I hope you enjoyed getting to have a little look around just a little neighborhood of Huizhou where I'm spending my Chinese New Year this year. If you did enjoy it and you'd like to see more about my life in China, this would be a great time to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. See you all next time. Bye!